Imagine signing a $100 million contract, uprooting your entire life. And just weeks later, your new team stabs you in the back on national TV. That's exactly what happened to Kirk Cousins. And now, on Netflix's latest show, he's finally telling the truth. And Falcons fans, this might shake everything you thought you knew about your new quarterback. Buckle up. Because this is not just drama, this is betrayal, bold decisions, and the kind of NFL moment that fans will argue about for years. Netflix just dropped another season of its show Quarterback, and once again, Kirk Cousins is one of the stars. But this time, he's wearing new colors, the red and black of the Atlanta Falcons. For Falcons fans, this is big. Last season, they got a close-up look at Marcus Mariota through this same series. And now, it's Cousins' turn, a veteran quarterback with a new team, a fresh start, and a massive contract behind him. But things got real fast. In the very first episode, Cousins didn't hold back. He talked about something we all wondered about when it happened, that shocking moment the Falcons drafted Michael Penix Jr., just weeks after signing Cousins to a $100 million deal. And yes, Kirk was not happy. He said it clearly. If he had known Atlanta was planning to draft a quarterback that high, he might have made a very different decision in free agency. That means, if he had known both Atlanta and his former team, the Vikings, were going to draft rookie quarterbacks early, he might have stayed in Minnesota, a place he and his family loved. Think about that. Cousins didn't say it in a loud or angry way, but the words hit hard. He said, "I felt a little bit misled. And honestly, can you blame him?" He had no idea the Falcons were eyeing Penix. No idea they would use the number 8 overall pick, a top 10 pick, on a rookie quarterback when they had just handed Cousins one of the biggest contracts in team history. From Cousins' side, this wasn't just business. Atlanta had gone all out for him. They made him feel wanted. They pushed hard to bring him in. There were rumors they even broke tampering rules just to talk to him early. That shows you how badly they wanted him, or at least, that's what it looked like. But then, boom, draft night. Michael Penix Jr. goes to the Falcons, and Kirk Cousins finds out only when Atlanta is on the clock. He didn't get a heads up from the general manager, not even a phone call from the head coach. It was Zach Robinson, the quarterback's coach, who told him at the last second. Now look, the Falcons have every right to draft who they want. That's their job. But it's the way they did it. It feels like they tried to play both sides, bring in a proven veteran and draft a young QB of the future, without being fully honest about either plan. And for Cousins? That stings. You don't give a guy $100 million, make him feel like the face of the franchise, and then suddenly make him look like a placeholder. He has every reason to feel hurt. And if you were in his shoes, if your job, your future, and your family's next few years were riding on a promise, wouldn't you be upset too? What do you think? Was Kirk Cousins truly misled? Or should he have seen this coming? Drop your thoughts in the comments and rate your confidence in the Falcons' quarterback situation from 1 to 10. Let's see where the fans really stand. So why didn't they just tell Kirk ahead of time? Why didn't the Falcons sit down with their brand new quarterback and say, "Hey, we're taking a QB at number 8," because they knew exactly what would happen? And it all leads to one harsh truth. This was never just about football. It was about control, timing, and protecting a fragile plan that was never built on honesty. Here's the truth. The Falcons didn't tell Kirk Cousins they were drafting Michael Penix Jr. early. On purpose. Why? Because they were scared. If they told him even 1 week in advance, that news would have leaked. His agent would have let it slip to the media. And suddenly, fans would have exploded. The pressure would have been too much. You just gave Cousins $100 million. Fans don't want to see a rookie QB coming right behind him. They want a leader, not a controversy. So the Falcons stayed quiet, because they had to protect their plan. They did what they thought was best for them, but here's the flip side. Kirk Cousins has to do what's best for him. And that takes us into the next part of the quarterback episode. It wasn't just about the draft. It was about pain, pressure, and a moment that changed everything. The day Kirk got hurt. It happened against the Saints. Peyton Turner sacked him hard, and Cousins got up holding his arm. He later played through it in a game against the Broncos, and it was ugly. He wasn't right physically. Everyone could see it. But here's the powerful part. Kirk opened up about why he didn't sit out to heal. He said he was scared. Not scared of pain, scared of losing his job. He remembered something from back in 2010. He read Drew Brees' book, and one line stuck with him. Brees said he never let his backup get on the field, not even for one game. Why? Because once a backup gets a shot, you might never get your job back. And now imagine being Kirk Cousins. Your arm is hurting, your shoulder isn't right, your body is begging for rest, and you know that if you sit out, the rookie, Michael Penix Jr., could step in and never give the job back. Kirk made a choice. He kept playing. He said, "With the information I had at the time, I made the best decision I could." And honestly, you can't blame him. If you had worked your whole life for this moment, would you risk it all by sitting out and letting a rookie take over? Sure, for the Falcons, it may not have been the smartest move for the team. Maybe Kirk should have rested. Maybe he could have come back stronger. But for Kirk Cousins the person, Kirk Cousins the competitor, this was survival. Because he knows how this league works. One mistake, one injury, 1 week out, and suddenly, you're yesterday's news. So yeah, maybe it wasn't team first, but it was real. It was human. And it was a decision every NFL player has to wrestle with. What would you have done? If you were in Kirk's place, injured, under pressure, and watching a rookie waiting behind you, would you have stepped aside? Or fought through it like he did? Tell us in the comments. Was Cousins selfish? Or just smart? And don't forget, rate how confident you are in this Falcons QB room from 1 to 10. We're watching every take. Now here's the real question. Did Kirk Cousins make things worse by trying to tough it out? Did he play through pain so long that he actually destroyed his own future? Because in this league, the line between warrior and washed up is razor thin, and Kirk might have crossed it without even knowing. Let's be honest, it's hard to judge Kirk Cousins here. None of us can truly imagine the pressure he felt. You're in your mid-30s, staring down the end of your NFL career. You just signed a massive deal. You're in a new city with a fan base that's still not sure about you. And then, you get injured. But here's the reality. Cousins knew. Deep down, he knew his time was limited. 40 years old isn't that far away. And the Falcons had just drafted a top 10 rookie quarterback. The writing was on the wall. So when Kirk decided to keep playing through the shoulder injury, was that bravery? Or was it panic? Looking back now, it's easy to say, "Kirk, you should have shut it down." If he had taken a few weeks off to rest, maybe people would remember him as the guy who played great for the first 9 games of 2024. Instead, he powered through, and it showed. The final stretch of the season was rough. Really rough. From the Saints game all the way to that Monday night loss to the Raiders, he looked like a shell of himself. And the sad part? That version of Cousins might be the last one people remember. Because in this league, if you finish weak, it doesn't matter how strong you started. Now, if someone had pulled him aside back then and said, "Kirk, if you keep playing like this while you're hurt, not only might the Falcons bench you, but no team will want you as a starter ever again," maybe he would have stopped. But again, hindsight is always 20/20. That's what makes this whole situation so complicated. Because both sides feel misled. Kirk Cousins says the Falcons weren't honest with him about drafting a quarterback. That's fair. But if you're the Falcons, you could flip it around and say, "Hey Kirk, you weren't exactly honest with us either." They paid him to be a franchise leader. But when week 1 came, he looked like an old man stuck in the pocket. He could barely move. He had no mobility, couldn't go under center, and had to take nearly every snap from shotgun. That's not what Atlanta signed up for, and they had every right to feel a little blindsided, too. But here's the thing. This is the NFL. There are no guarantees, no warm welcomes, no promises kept forever. When teams sign a free agent, they do their homework, or at least they should. It's not the player's job to say, "Hey, by the way, my shoulder's messed up." No player in free agency walks into the room and lists everything wrong with them. That's on the team to find out. So yes, the Falcons can feel frustrated, but in the end, they're the ones who handed over the contract. They took the risk. They made the call. And now, they're living with the consequences. So now it's your turn. Who's more to blame? Kirk Cousins for pushing through injury and hiding his limits? Or the Falcons for drafting a rookie and not being upfront about it? Let's hear your take in the comments and be real. If you were the GM, what would you have done differently?